Yes, I do. It is a staple routine in my classroom and has been for years. It is my bell ringer, it is my skill drill, and it is my assessment for the first 10 minutes of my class, every class period. It really does just take about 10 minutes a day to cover so many grammar skills throughout the year, because with the bell ringer format, students see that when they come in, or they get started on it as soon as the bell rings. If we're doing the worksheets, I'm handing that out when students are coming in, or it's ready on their desk. And on assessment day, it is just a quick multiple choice quiz. So you are really done in about 10 minutes every day. It can be tough. There are so many grammar rules, and it is, I understand that it is difficult to be confident with all of them. But I've got you covered with this program. So not only are you getting answer keys, but you are also getting, with the bell ringers specifically, because it is a daily oral language type bell ringer where students are making corrections to mistakes. I have provided video links of me modeling every single bell ringer correction with an explanation of the rules. So you can watch them. They can be teacher facing or they can be student facing. It's completely up to you. I also have provided on the worksheets, I have provided the rules very explicitly with examples, and also video links to YouTube for those as well. In addition to all of the answers and feedback for the students, you will have everything that you need. Well, the good news is there is virtually no prep with this 10-minute grammar program. The bell ringers are ready and formatted for you to just project to the students. The worksheets are, plus they're all editable. The worksheets are all editable and also come in PDF, so you could upload those easily to a learning management system or print them out. And the quizzes at the end of the week are also editable and preloaded into Google Forms, so you don't have to do anything except share the link with the students, and that also makes grading easy as well. So because of this does have a piece where students are going to be responsible for writing down information and taking notes, and we know students don't love to do that. Yeah, I understand that you may have some students who do not participate during the bell ringer time. So that is the reason why I have built in the assessment piece. So you also have the worksheet where students are going to get a skill drill, and then you're also going to have, at the end of the week, you're going to have the grammar quiz where students are going to be accountable for those daily bell ringer skills as well as the worksheet skills. So if students are opting out of the bell ringer time, the first 10 minutes of class throughout the week, then that is going to be on them, because a lot of times I will let my students use their notes on the quiz, and I think that helps them begin to see the importance of that. And also, it does, encourage them to write it down. And there are some management things that probably need to go on as well. If students are refusing to do work, that kind of falls in a different category that needs to be handled a little bit differently with your other methods for classroom management. But all in all, I have a lot of buy-in from students with this because they see that it works. With a program like this, it really does lend itself well for differentiation. So students are going to be seeing 2 sentences with corrections. Most of the time, I don't identify how many errors there are to the students up front or what type of skill errors there are. They just have to go in and figure them out. One way that you could scaffold is to provide them with the number of errors. If you have lower learners who need that scaffolding, lower level learners, or you could tell them what skills they are looking for. Also, there are 2 every day. You could just have them do 1. A lot of times the skills sort of repeat in a day so that they're getting extra practice, but that would be one way to differentiate. Of course, with the worksheets, there are provided videos that highlight a specific skill that the students are going to cover or learn and practice on the worksheets. You want to make sure that you're giving that out for students as well, students who are struggling. Also with the bell ringers, the videos that I've created that teach those, you could share those with students to watch. Any level of student can be successful with the grammar quizzes. They are just short little bites. They're not very long, and they do get that immediate feedback. So all levels of learners like that. If you have higher level learners or higher achieving students, you can challenge them by setting a time limit on the bell ringers, even shorter than 10 minutes, or setting a time limit on the worksheet, because we know that they're taking ACT, standardized testing, etc. And students who need differentiation on the quizzes, the rules are provided, and you can use those as sort of a test correction. So all levels of learners are able to be successful, and I've seen and used this with on-track students, with inclusion students, as well as honors and AP and dual enrollment students. Students definitely do depend on a grade, that is for sure. A lot of times I do not take a grade on the bell ringer portion. Like I said, students are accountable for that information when they are doing their worksheets and when they are doing their end of week quiz. And so that I don't grade the bell ringers, but I do grade the worksheets and I do grade the grammar quizzes. And so that gives that accountability and assessment piece. So students get the opportunity to practice and ask questions throughout the week, and they're getting reinforcement from me. And then on Friday, it's really the performance. Those are multiple choice, self-grading Google form quizzes if you want to use them that way, because everything is linked in for you. Every question is marked which type of skill it is for you as well. So you can really pull some good data from that and decide from those assessments what you need to do with your instruction moving forward. So that is certainly a debate in teaching grammar, whether or not you should teach it in isolation, whether they need to be taught in context. And I really feel like that grammar skills need to be taught, the grammar rules, the grammar skills need to be taught before students can see them and use them in context. So I think this program does both. So with the daily oral language type of question, students are seeing grammar in the context of a sentence, but then we are making the corrections and explicitly teaching why that is a correction, what the rule is. So I'm always stepping back and either teaching it initially to the students or having them repeat it back to me from what they previously learned in the year. And then students are focusing on one skill with the worksheets. And again, while it is a skill drill, for example, the whole worksheet is on commas or the whole worksheet is on apostrophes, they're still seeing that in sentence form. All the bell ringers are cohesive for each week on a topic. All of the sentences on the worksheet are cohesive and sort of tell a story on a topic, highly relatable, interesting topics to students. And then all of the sentences on the grammar quiz as well tell a story or go together to form a cohesive paragraph. So the way that I have this set up, you're going to get your bell ringers. Those are going to come in PowerPoint format, and so you'll be able to use those in class or in person if you want to post those. The worksheets also come in an editable format in PDF, so you can use those and post those. Students can bring those into a tablet, Notability, Kami, and write on them and submit them that way, or they can go old school paper. And then of course the grammar quizzes are also written to be print, or they're also transformed already into a Google form, so you can send those out digitally to your students as well. So in short, you can use it in person or virtually in full with complete success. That's a good question. I have approval from administrators, instructional coaches, and other teachers as well who have used this program. But most importantly, I have the approval and the proof from students who have used this year after year, who have said, my scores have improved X amount. My scores are through the roof thanks to this daily practice. Their writing is improved. I've seen it. So to me, that's 10 minutes well spent.